Leofine remains as elusive as ever. If she is in league with Ishgard's more unsavory elements, she could be hidden anywhere. We have only her cryptic statements to guide us. It seems that whatever her plan is, her actions thus far have been but a prelude to its climax. We can but hope that Tentoawa awakens before she emerges again.
K'nekotein, there you are.
I'm so glad I found you. I was starting to think I was in the wrong city, but the Tural guided me true.
Oh, you must be the maiden Tentoawa mentioned. You hail from the same village, yes. I am Firmalbert, of the Temple Knights. 'Tis an honor to meet you.
Ah, Tentoawa wrote about you in his letters. I'm K'nekotein, and the honor is all mine. Is Tentoawa with you? I haven't received a letter from him for some time, so I came here to check on him myself. You insufferable fool! What have I always told you about rushing ahead without thinking? Now you even have the gall to be sleeping when I arrive. You promised you'd write to me. What was I supposed to do when the letters stopped coming? I was so worried. At least I can take some small comfort that he appears otherwise unharmed. I take it you're to thank for that, K'nekotein. Yes, that's right. For 10 years I bore his fatigue, and as a result my body is more fragile than most. But since arriving in Tural, my life has become normal. As I've walked the city's streets and eaten my fill of its food, I've felt my strength grow. I can even stay awake for a full day now.
Do you know why Tentoawa sleeps so soundly? The reports of other incidents indicated that those affected awoke in a matter of moments. Yet Tentoawa shows no signs of stirring.
Well, that. I'm sorry, I can't say for certain. But I do know the stories of those who came before me. More than one shut-eye has fallen into a sleep much like this. One so absolute that they become deaf to the outside world. With no means to sustain their bodies, they would waste away if left alone. So, our people found a mixture of herbs and other materials that help usher the shut-eye back to the waking world.
What could possibly be strong enough to bring someone back from this?
We call it Springdew, and the secrets of its making are passed down through generations. Each drop acts as a ray of sunshine in the darkness of sleep, a beacon for the dreamer to follow. I carry some of the ingredients on my person, but others must be gathered fresh. It won't be an easy task, but I'm certain it will save Tentoawa. I don't know their Eorzean name, but one of the flowers blooms a striking yellow, and grows only where mountain peaks soar above the clouds. Being so close to the heavens, it drinks in the sunlight, and its petals cleanse the body and promote wakefulness.
In the churning mists blooms a yellow flower called the dandelion. In no other place in Eorzea can one be closer to touching the sun.
Good. Next, we'll need the saliva of a beast we call moorballs, and the thicker it is, the better. The pungent odor could wake the dead.
Ah, I know them well. Moorballs are not an uncommon sight in the Dravanian hinterlands. A mature specimen should possess saliva with the desired effect. The prospect of gathering it, however, is an unenviable task.
Once we have those two ingredients, mixing them with the rest should be a simple matter. Do you think you could procure them, K'nekotein? Oh, your confidence is reassuring. Since the moorball saliva must be the fresher of the two, I ask that you first climb into the heavens and pick dandelions for Tentoawa.
The sun-drenched dandelions shine an almost golden yellow. Now for a much more gruesome task. Venture to the Dravanian hinterlands and collect saliva from the mouth of a full-grown moorball.
I'm ready to start mixing the ingredients at once. That is, of course, assuming you've brought them with you. These are difficult to acquire at the best of times, so I thank you for gathering them so quickly. I shall get started immediately. We've done all we can. Now we wait for Tentoawa to open his eyes.
Where am I?
I hope you enjoyed sleeping the days away, Tentoawa. And, I'm glad you're finally awake.
K'nekotein. What are you doing here? I see. So Leofine wheeled at the cradle against me. And while I was tucked soundly in bed, K'nekotein came all this way. Curse my weakness. Just when we had her, just when I was needed the most, I failed. For 10 years I endured countless trials, and when the time came I couldn't even swing my damn weapon.
It's not your fault, Tentoawa. If anyone's to blame for what's happened, it's me.
No. I won't hear it.
As you may know, Leofine won our trust by posing as a scholar traveling the width and breadth of Tural. She expressed great interest in the cradle and our customs, and I was so excited to meet an outsider that I answered her every question. I told her that the Wide Eye keeps the cradle with them at all times, and then she hatched her plan. She took me hostage to draw out Tentoawa.
While K'nekotein was sleeping, Leofine snuck into her chamber and held a blade to her throat. I had no choice but to give her what she wanted, the cradle of the Sleepless. I put K'nekote's life before the future of our people. It was at that moment I became unfit to be their guardian. Don't get me wrong. I haven't given up. No matter what, I'll repay Leofine's treachery 1,000-fold.
Not just you, we're in this together.
Seeing you in such high spirits lifts my own. Oh, and before I forget. You trounced Leofine's thugs while I was dreaming in the snow, didn't you? I owe you a debt I won't soon forget. And I wager that debt will grow larger before we pry the treasure from Leofine's clutches. But whatever it takes, I won't stop until she's answered for her crimes.
I'm embarrassed to admit that was the first time I've ever created the mixture. I'm glad it worked as intended.
You know, while I was sleeping, I dreamed. I saw K'nekotein and I as children. Nothing particularly interesting happened, we just whiled the days away, without a care in the world. I'd forgotten what it was like to dream. It was pleasant. I can remember wanting to stay there, to never open my eyes again. But of course the moment I gave form to that thought, I opened them, and Losnikwe was there. Even if we get the cradle back, will things return to the way they were? Will you go back to spending your life in dreams?
I suppose so. It's my duty as the Shut-Eye, after all.
Your duty. And it was your duty, too, that compelled you to come all the way here to Ishgard. But no more.
What are you saying?
I tried so hard to convince myself that you were glad spending so much time asleep. But being on the other side made me realize, I was lying to myself all along. I don't want to return to a life where you and I are bound together, but always so far apart. I want to go back to those happy days when we were by each other's sides. I guess what I'm saying is, if there's a different path for us, I want to find it. And I want to walk it with you. But not yet. First, we reclaim the cradle, and when we have, we'll take our first steps towards that new future, I promise. I must confess, I haven't felt the same since I woke up. I know I was in that bed for a while, but instead of feeling refreshed, my body feels weaker, somehow. It's almost as if my very strength was sapped when the treasure was turned on me. I can't even grip my weapon properly. Then does that mean, the cradle has powers we don't know about?
Not exactly. It may just mean the cradle works differently than we thought. Its we elder might not pass on their fatigue, rather, they absorb another's vigor.
The end effect would be the same. The cradle's we elder can go on without sleep, and its victim loses the strength to even keep their eyes open.
You never took more than you needed, so my slumber was always light enough to awaken from. But if the treasure was used without restraint,
if we've had this realization, it won't be long until Leofine does, too. And then it will be too late. We have to root her out. But, I mustn't rush ahead blindly, as Losnikwe never tires of telling me. I feel nearly weak as a child right now. I must spend what precious time we have training to regain what strength Leofine stole from me. You have my word I won't rest until I'm in top form again. I suggest that you do the same, if for no other reason than to give me some stiff competition.